Last night was the CNN slash Univision slash Washington Post debate, and it was probably Bernie Sanders' best performance in a debate. It's really the first time that he's actually hit Hillary Clinton hard, as opposed to avoiding that confrontation. So I'm going to get some great clips that I thought Bernie performed well in, and then also a line from Hillary Clinton that kind of showcased why she was weak last night. So let's get to the first Bernie clip.
No, I do not support vigilantes, and that is a horrific statement, an unfair statement to make. I will stand in terms of my political career, fighting for workers, fighting for the poorest people in this country. Madam Secretary, I will match my record against yours any day of the week.
So that was a good summary of Bernie Sanders and telling his story and what he's actually been doing in politics for the last 40 years. So Hillary Clinton tried undermining a lot of Bernie Sanders' message over the night. But when you go back and look at his history, it's clear he's been fighting for the same issues constantly over and over again. And for her to try to undermine that is very insincere, especially when you can go online and you can read about Bernie Sanders and see him in Congress in the 90s, see what he did in the 80s, and even in the 70s, the stuff that he wrote. This is another line where Bernie Sanders delivered well.
Clearly, the Secretary's words to Wall Street has really intimidated them. And that is why they have given her $15 million in campaign contributions.
Now that was just a great direct shot at Hillary Clinton. So for her to pretend that she is defending the middle class and against Wall Street, meanwhile taking all of this money from Wall Street, it really makes you question why is she even pretending to not be, or why is she even pretending to be against Wall Street when we can clearly see she's taking all this money from them. Nobody gives money to candidates for no reason. There's a reason they're giving that money, and it's because they expect a return on that investment, and in this case from Hillary Clinton. And Bernie Sanders did such a good job there just summing it up in that one line. So this next clip that I'm going to show you, this kind of shows where Hillary Clinton failed for the night and just how she seemed shaky overall.
It's not easy to do what I think is right, to help people, to even the odds, to hear a story like the woman's story we just heard, and to know that I can make a difference and I want to in every way possible.
That first part of that answer, it's not easy to do the right thing. It's not easy for me to do the right thing. Why isn't it easy for you to do the right thing? Is it because you're taking large sums of money from places like Wall Street? Is that why it's not easy to do the right thing? I don't think Bernie would categorize his work as a politician as being hard to do the right thing. Yes, there are barriers you have to go up against, but in terms of just the choice of doing the right thing, when you know what the right thing is, and you are a credible human being, and you're an honest politician, it's not hard to do the right thing because you're pushing at doing the right thing every day. But this showcases where Hillary Clinton is different because she is balancing all these different sides. So she has to balance the interests of the moneyed interests, that's the people that are giving her money, the big corporations, Wall Street, with the will of the people who are at odds with the interests of the money. So that is really why it's hard for her to do the right thing.
I am not a natural politician, in case you haven't noticed, like my husband or President Obama.
What she ends on there, not a natural politician. When I first heard that line, I thought, oh wow, this is Hillary kind of being honest with people, and showing a softer side of her, how she feels vulnerable. She doesn't feel that strong of a politician. But then I shook my head. Wait a second. Hillary Clinton truly is the best politician in the United States right now in terms of the way the old system works, in terms of the way politics has been for 50 plus years. she is the epitome of that. She does a really good job, for the most part, of balancing those special moneyed interests with the will of the people. But the problem now is that you have someone like Bernie Sanders who doesn't give a fuck about the money side and is all for the people. And stacked up against that, she looks much weaker than she would otherwise. But because she's up against someone like Bernie Sanders, who is playing the game differently, not playing the game like every politician before him has, she looks weak by comparison. And that's the only reason why that vulnerability of hers came off as sort of genuine, is because it has been tough for her. She doesn't look like a strong politician in front of him. But in reality, she is a very strong politician. The problem is she has had a different strategy the entire time. And now for her to change and do a strategy such as that Bernie Sanders has done his entire career would be disingenuous, and we wouldn't buy it. Unless she like cut off all the money that she's getting, cut off Wall Street money, cut off corporate interest money, didn't have super PAC money, then we could see that, oh, she's made a big turn and now she's being this honest, different politician. But she's not doing that. She's still playing the political game that everyone else has, whereas Bernie Sanders is not playing that same game. So that's why she looks weak by comparison. So overall, it was just a fantastic night for Bernie Sanders, coming off a huge win in Michigan, an upset where he was down something like 20 points. he was down in the polls between 10 and 30 points, an average of about 20 points, up until election night. And then he ended up squeaking by a win by 2%, and it was just incredible. So you can really see that he's almost re-energized, and he is now willing to hit Hillary Clinton on where she needs to be hit for him to show people that he is the stronger candidate, not just on the issues, but just strong personality-wise. I can see him now being a president. He has a strong voice, and now that he's showing that finally, I think it's really going to have an effect on the primaries moving forward, and we're going to see on March 15th how that will affect voting in the States.